Successful retirements, well, they really are built on generating income that will last your entire retirement. So that's a great topic, Dan. One that we get a lot of questions about and comments from people all the time. In retirement, income is the outcome. It's all about that. Having an income plan and making sure you know exactly how that's all going to work, that's really the most important thing probably when it comes to retirement planning. Wouldn't you agree?
It is. Income is the foundation of the retirement plan. Think about it like a house. You're building a house. You start with a foundation. You want the foundation to be solid. You want it to be sturdy, to be able to withstand any of the turmoil or storms that come your way. In retirement planning, income is the foundation. And there's a lot of different theories out there as to which theory is the best, which one is the one that's going to work best for me. And we believe there are some that are good and there's some that are not good, and you want to kind of stay away from. We want to unpack those.
Income used to be very easy. You retired and you got a strong Social Security.
That's right.
It was always going to be there, get a cost of living increase. Beautiful. Nobody ever worried about, was it going to go away? And then you got a big, strong pension along with that gold watch, that fancy watch when you retired from that company. And that pension was going to last for the rest of your life. Oh, that's beautiful. And then you put money in the bank, and they would give you good interest on that money. So it was a great plan. But then all of that changed. Now all of that's changed. So now what do? Well, Dan, we hear a lot about this new way of, well, it's not really new, but you still hear a lot about it, that 4% rule. And so some of you probably out there have questions about, what's the 4% rule? Do I really need to know more about that, or do I know enough? And does it work in all circumstances? Those are questions you need to have answered.
Well, that's right. And in essence, the 4% rule isn't overly complicated. So if you have, just say, $1 million, right, for easy math, you have $1 million saved up for retirement. The 4% rule says if you just withdraw 4% a year, or $40,000 a year, that is the best way to provide consistent, reliable, and predictable income. And the theory also goes on to say if you're averaging around 7% a year on your investments, which is a historical average in some regards, if you're withdrawing 4%, the account's actually growing 3% per year, helping to fend off inflation, other costs and expenses you'll have. But the problem with this theory is that assumes that you actually make 7% every year and the return doesn't deviate. 7%, 7%, 7%. That is not the real world that we live in today. That's an average. And what is an average? An average means some years you got way more, some years you got way less. And here's where the theory breaks down. If you're withdrawing 4% off of $1 million, but the account value is going up, you're gonna be fine, right? As long as you only ever make money on your investments.
Every year the market goes up.
This theory is great. However, if the market ever goes down, and it will if you have money in the market, some years it's going to go down. If the value is going down and you're pulling money out at the same time, that hemorrhages the loss and the account value will suffer to where maybe when it bottoms out, you don't have $1 million left in your portfolio. You've got $600,000 left in your portfolio, which means your 4% withdrawal was just increased to a 7% roughly withdrawal. So now you've got a choice. Do you reduce the standard of living to be down at 4%, right? Or do you continue to draw the same amount, which is what most people do? And so as the market does recover and your investments recover, you're still pulling that money out. It makes it very difficult to ever get through.
Yeah,
so
this happened in 2000, 01, and 02 when the market went down substantially. If you retired just before that, this 4% rule blew up for you.
It did.
So it can work in certain years, but then in certain ones you don't. So you got to ask yourself, when I retire, is the market going to be up mostly the first few years, or is it going to be down the first few years? And that's something none of us know. So what we like to do is show folks like yourself that there are other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Things have modernized, and there's something called the income drawdown. And Dan, why don't you go into that just a little bit to give just another option?
And again, to keep it simple, right, to follow, if you got $1 million, this theory says take half of the money, and the numbers can be different, but if you just took half, put it in a position for growth, trying to get those higher rates of return, 7%. But the other half, put it in something that's very conservative, or for us, protected, because conservative means you can lose. We want protected, meaning no chance of losing the principal. And that $500,000, if you're pulling $40,000 a year out and you're just earning 4%, that money, if you retire at 65, that money lasts you 18 years. Consistent, predictable, reliable income for 18 years. No matter what's happening in the market, you've got 18 years of predictable income, which means you've got 18 years for your other $500,000 to grow at 7%. So by the time the 18 years is up, you're 83 years old now, right? Made it through the heart of the retirement. And that $500,000 for 18 years at 7% is worth $1.7 million. $700,000 more than you started. You go, oh, but what do we do now? I'm 83, my income. Take another $500,000
out of money.
Move another $500,000 over. You can do it another 18 years. Now you're 101 years old, and the value just continues to exceed like that.
Yeah.
That's a way to get more predictable, more reliable, more sustainable income. The market's going to be volatile, but it's also going to reward you over time. We want to show people how to create time in a retirement and not have to tighten the belt just because the market goes down.
Yeah, so it's so important to do a lot of research on this, to do a lot of reading and studying and learning more about how to generate income, reliable, we call it reliable, sustainable, dependable income in retirement that won't go away. So Dan, I love your example. This is really good. We've helped a lot of people in our business that way. If you'd like to learn more about income planning and how this whole thing works and 4% rule and even the income drawdown, then go to retirementtalk.com to learn more and read up more on those strategies.